What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got a really cool replay I want to share with you guys. This was sent to me by a buddy of mine, Atenza, and it really showcases the power and some of the ridiculous plays you can do with this new card, Supreme King Servant Dragon Starving Venom. That name is still really ridiculous to have to say multiple times in a video, but this card was announced over the weekend. I did kind of my thoughts and my first reactions to it. It's a card coming out of Code of the Duelist, and it's a really interesting card because it lets you copy the name and the effect of a monster on either player's side of the field or in either player's graveyard. So it's definitely a card with some potential. I like the fact that you contact fuse with it, but I wasn't exactly sure if there was anything that could instantly break this card. Now I think I'm a little more sure, which is what you guys are going to see. Now I already knew what type of decks you were going to play this card in. You know, the first kind of decks that came to my mind was basically like Pendulum Magicians, because obviously between Maximum Crisis and you know, like Pendulum Evolution, you're getting a whole bunch of new support, and the cards that summon Zark can basically summon the Starving Venom Dragon. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this, and you guys are going to kind of see the play here. So he's going to Pendulum Summon first. He Pendulum Summons the Toon Magician. That gets him the Star Time, which is going to search Joker. Now he actually uses his Pendulum effect monsters. He uses the effect to basically blow up his scale so that he can search a fusion card, this card right here, Supreme King Gate 0. It basically lets you blow up a couple of your pendulum zones, and then you get to search a fusion or a polymerization, which a lot of people are just going to look at instant fusion, and this is one of the cards that you're going to need to actually make this play kind of broken. So he searches the Joker, he searches the instant fusion, and then it's basically a matter of, you know, is my opponent going to kill me before I get another turn? So this player decides not to. He goes for a Radiant play. What I don't really get here is he played his invocation, right? But he used an Alistair in his hand, which, like, why didn't he use the one on the field? Not only would he been able to recycle the Alistair, but then he would still have an Alistair in his hand. Actually, he'd have two copies of Alistair in his hand, so like he could potentially bump his Radine up 1,000 if he needed to, like if it got threatened or something. So I don't know why he didn't do that. Don't ask me, guys. I wasn't playing in this duel, but it's definitely going to be something that fucks him over. So anyways, we got a Joker search. He's going to play a couple of pendulum scales, and then he pendulum summons. Dude, Toon Magician is such a good card because you see how it summons another magician straight from the deck, and since that magician was level 4, he's basically able to go into Ignister. And when you have Radine on the field, you pretty much have to put Ignister face down, otherwise your Radine is probably just going to get spun back to your deck for no reason at all, or well, not no reason, but basically for free. So he plays the instant fusion, and this is where the whole play comes alive, guys. He brings out Lyrical Lucinia, Independent Nightingale. You guys remember this card from those trolley plays that were like kind of unstoppable that we showed off when this card was first announced? Well, this is the card's effect that you're actually going to copy. It's actually a really weird situation, and since he has his two dark pendulums on the field, obviously he can contact fuse. Now here's the crazy thing, right? So he's gonna activate Starving Venom to copy the Independent Nightingale. Now usually she would be unaffected by other monster effects, but since she actually has no monster effect because it's negated by instant fusion, even though she technically has no effect on the field, you can still copy the effect that she doesn't actually have, which is, it's actually pretty stupid. And the thing is, guys, we talked about how Independent Nightingale, if you copy her effect on a high level monster, it's kind of broken because you now see the Starving Venom basically gains like 4,000 attacks, so he's able to just dominate this Radine, and then in main phase 2 he can burn his opponent for 4,000 damage, and basically that's GG. I just think it's almost like effectception. And that's because you're copying an effect that she doesn't actually have, but if she actually had the effect, then you wouldn't be able to actually copy her effect. It's really weird, but the play actually works. Now, the sad thing about this is, you know, some of the cards we need to play this come out of Maximum Crisis, and then obviously some other ones come out, and the Pendulum Evolution, but the main card that we need, you know, pretty much the dragon that ties this all together, this comes out in Code of the Duelist, and when we get Code of the Duelist, we'll be getting all those new rules, and I don't think that this deck is ever really gonna actually work IRL, because, you know, you won't be able to just summon all of these different monsters. You know, you'll obviously have to just limit yourself to one, or you'll have to find a way to put a link summon monster in this somewhere. I'm not exactly sure how that works. So if you guys want to experiment with it, just kind of play it on play it on like YGO Pro or Dev Pro. If you guys do want to see the deck profile, just let me know. I'll post it like tomorrow or the day after or something like that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching as always, and subscribe if you have not already.